Greetings everybody and welcome back to the Awesome Lindsay channel. Today I wanted to show you the FiFine Ampligame D6 stream controller. But for the purposes of this video, I'll just call it the D6 or the FiFine D6. So what is this? This is basically a 15 key customizable programmable keyboard. And really quick, I just wanted to mention that FiFine did send this out to me. And the only reason I agreed to do this collaboration is number one, because I do need one of these things. So it's going to be useful for me and I wanted to share that with you. And then number two, I'm able to do this video however I want. They just said, we'll send you a unit and then you can just review it and explain what you like, dislikes, whatever. And so they didn't give me any feedback on how to do the video. So I get to do it my own way. And hardware wise, it has these 15 little buttons. They're plastic covered buttons and they have little basically LED screens below them or behind them. And you can put on images and little GIFs. It's kind of nice because then you can like show yourself or show in the little icon what the function will do, or you can even use a little GIF to maybe add motion to show a little bit better what the function will do. So that's really nice. You can also just kind of customize it and make fun images. You can, I believe you can put a whole image on all the screens all the way across. So there's a lot of fun stuff you can do with it. And then speaking of fun stuff, you have a LED RGB ring all around it. And then on the back, you have a button to turn it on or off, and then your standard USB-C cable. So the reason I agreed to do this is because I was actually looking for one of these. I have had a Loupedeck for a long time, and I'm going to show you kind of some of the functions that you can do with this. It'll be based on my use with the Loupedeck, but I'm actually more excited about the D6. And the reason why is, so the Loupedeck is a really cool piece of hardware. It's really well designed and well thought out idea-wise, but execution-wise, it's kind of difficult. So the Loupedeck doesn't have buttons. It has little touch pads. The cool thing though about the touch pads is you can use it to swipe left or right. So both of these, you can have different, I guess pages is the best way to explain it. So you can have different pages on each of these things. With the D6 though, the one caveat to that is if you want to go to the next page, you have to use a button to go to the next page, and then you have to use another button to go back a page. So it does take up some of your button real estate when you're using this. And the idea behind the Loupedeck is you can actually, since it's all touch sensitive, you can swipe left or right to go from one page to another without having to take up a button or a touchpad in this case. The only problem with this though is I got this because I wanted to just group all my keyboard shortcuts in one area and have them just near my hand and just leave my hand here for video editing if I wanted to kind of scroll along the timeline or zoom in or out or scroll through images on like Capture One or something like that. I just want to leave my hand here and be able to push a button and do a thing. The problem is you have to hover your hand over here. I didn't really realize you can't rest your hands on the touchpads, otherwise you're just constantly executing functions. So if you want to leave your hand there, you have to keep your fingers hovered above the touchpads. So there are these buttons on the bottom which you can map functions to if you want to rest your fingers there. Problem is with this one, not all functions can be mapped to these bottom buttons. So found myself still having to use the touchpads. And then the other con with this one is they're pretty sensitive. So when I would be reaching up to a top function, sometimes I would graze my finger on one of these bottom or other rows and it would execute a function I didn't want to execute. So in design, this thing is really cool. It feels really solid. The D6 feels a little less solid, a little more plasticky, although I don't think that matters. So really the only way I can use this now is if I sort of just leave this on the corner of my desk, maybe set up less common functions, maybe a longer workflow that I don't use too often. I can reach over and press this, or maybe use the knobs and leave it kind of near my keyboard and just use the knobs, but it doesn't get a lot of use anymore because it's hard to map all my functions and rest my hand there. So that's kind of a long way of saying that I'm pretty excited about using the D6 because since they're plastic covered buttons, I can rest my hand on this, I can touch it all I want, and it's not going to execute any function unless I actually push down the button. So I'm really excited to map a bunch of functions onto the D6 and use this the way I kind of intended to use a programmable keyboard. And to set this all up, you'll actually download the FiFine Control Deck software. So I'm going to actually show you in the software what a few things do, give you a few examples of how to set up workflows and different workflows I had been using on my Loupedeck, but now I'm going to be using on the D6 and just kind of show you the fun things it can do. Okay, for this example, I'm just going to show you how I set up kind of a default scene. It's already there by default, but if you don't see one or if you want to make something new, you can just click on that gear, go down here and click create a scene. You'll just add one in there. You can also delete a scene by hitting the minus button. You can choose an app if you want. For instance, if you wanted to change, like have a certain scene for whatever app you're in. So for instance, TikTok Studio, I have that selected. So whenever I'm in TikTok Studio, the TikTok Studio scene becomes active. So I wanted to show you one that's not crazy useful, but it's pretty fun. It'll show you kind of a concept of how things work. It's just a copy and paste action toggle. So down here in the operation flow, I'm just going to drag action toggle down in here. I'm just going to call this copy and paste. And I'm going to double click on this. It'll take me into the scene. And then what I want to do is just add a hotkey right here. So I'm going to drag this hotkey. This will be called copy. And then I'm going to drag another hotkey down here. And this will be called paste. So and then I can just push this little arrow, back arrow, and just get out of there. So now what I can do is I can push this one button on my D6 and that'll copy and paste. So it's not really a complex keyboard shortcut, but it's kind of fun to have that concept. So if I want to copy something, I just select the piece of text. I hit the one button on my D6 and then go over to where I want to paste it and then hit the same button because it toggles now between the two items, copy and paste. So once it pastes, it goes back to being ready to copy. And then once it's copied, it goes to being ready to paste. So the next thing I'll do is I want to have a couple apps that I always open. So the first thing I want to do is have TikTok Studio. So what I do, just bring this inside here. You can grab the app and just drop it in there. And so now it knows that every time I push that button on the D6, that it's going to open TikTok. And then the other thing I open up a lot is my Notes app. So I'm going to drag that in there. So that's all I'll put in here for now, but this kind of just shows you really high level, simple how to drag and drop things into the D6 software. It's very drag and droppable, and if you actually want to adjust something, you'll just double click on the item. Okay, in this example, I wanted to show you a sort of concept workflow. I was using this one on my Loupedeck a number of years ago when I was working at a photo studio, and I wanted to show you this one because it'll also work on the D6, and it's a good example of like an action flow, or sometimes known as a macro. So what you'll do is just go over to operation, drop that down and drag an action flow down in here. And what we are doing, I'll just kind of show you what we're doing, is I worked at a photo studio and we shoot products, and then we had to add some metadata into different areas. And the way they had it done was like it was in random areas. So we had to add SKUs and some information into some of these tabs here. So what I would do is I knew I could copy the SKU number from a document that we had, and I would paste it in here, push Command V, and it would add the SKU number. And then I knew I had to tab down to, let's say, this instructions area, but I had to tab 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, and it would add another SKU. And then I would tab, let's say, down to here, which would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, another 6 times, I guess. And I would add some other bits of information. So what I would do is I would go into my Loupedeck, which you can do on the D6 as well. You'll add your workflow. You can title this SKU numbers, and then you can double click on here and it'll allow you to go into this area where you can start dropping in different controls. Most of them were all keyboard shortcuts. So if you go into the toolbox, you can go to your hotkeys. You can also add text. So what I would do is do a hotkey. So I would have already copied the SKU number off of the document. So the first keyboard shortcut I needed to use is paste, to paste it into this, let's say, city area. So I pasted it in here. In the Loupedeck software, you can put in your wait time. These ones just already have it. You can use the arrows to go up and down by 500 milliseconds, or you can just type in some random number if you like. So I'd paste, it would wait 250 milliseconds, and then it would tab. So I drag another hotkey, and this would be tab. And the one thing I love about the D6 software is you can name your operations. In the Loupedeck software, I would hit tab, and it would just have a whole bunch of tabs down here. But I like that I can name this tab 1 so I know which area of the workflow I'm in. So I'm going to grab another hotkey, name this tab 2. Let's say there's 6 tabs. And then what I want to do is give myself a wait time. So on this one, I'm going to do 500 milliseconds, which is 5 seconds. This would wait long enough for me to go back to the document, hit copy on the next SKU that I needed to copy into, let's say, the instructions area over here. And then after 500 milliseconds, it would paste. So whatever was in the clipboard, it would paste down into here. Okay, let me see if I can show you how this works. So I finished up the workflow. It's a very simple workflow and made it all nice and tidy. And so what I'd have is a document over here with a couple of, a bunch of different SKUs. So we have our 2 SKUs over here. And I would have selected this already, push Command C on my keyboard to copy it. Get over to Capture One, start with my first field, and I'll push the button on my D6, paste that first SKU, give myself 5 seconds, Command C, come back over here, click the field, you'd paste it, and then tab down to the next field. So that allowed me to push one key on my hardware and then run this workflow and put in all my SKUs efficiently and quickly. Okay, I thought I would just quickly go through some of the other areas of the Control Deck software. You have the Control Deck area here, which you can add functionality to the actual Control Deck itself. You can create folders on it, like say the different scenes. You can turn up the brightness. You can put it to sleep by dragging and dropping some of these things. I'll make a new thing over here. You can drag and drop some of these things in here and add those and then edit them. Then you have your toolbox area, which has a lot of your inputs and your button presses and things like that, hotkeys and text and passwords. If you use a password all the time, you can save a password here. Obviously, you can do multiple ones. So if you use a couple passwords, you can have a couple buttons set up for passwords if you want. We'll get rid of some of these ones. Then you have the touch bar area, which kind of duplicates the audio player. You have some previous and volume up-down tracks, so I'm not sure why there's 2 sections for it. Maybe there's something more coming in the software in a future release. But this will allow you to control a little bit more functionality of your computer just in pre-made drag and drop functions. Then you have your operations flow area, which gives you your action flow and your action toggle. I'm not exactly sure what carousel is. I think it might be something to do with just images. You can maybe have a slideshow playing. I haven't messed around with this too much. Then you have an OBS Studio, which comes on it because this is kind of geared towards OBS Studio and streaming to add some buttons and allow you to control your streams a little bit more efficiently. So there's some pre-made options in here already, which I don't have OBS Studio set up, so they're just going to delete these things. And then they have an app store up here in the top left corner. This has some plugins, quite a bunch of plugins already. I'm guessing more people can make some more plugins, some Final Cut Pro, another OBS, Premiere Pro, Blender, Lightroom. And then there's icons. There's not a whole ton of icons right now. There's only about 8 sections of them. Maybe more will be coming in the future. And then if you wanted to add your own, so if I added, let's say, go to the toolbox, add a hotkey, and then I can click up in this gear area and I can select a file of my own that I can add for the icon. I can open up the icon library and see the ones that I've already downloaded and use some of them. There is an option for screen capture, but I think it might be buggy because what it does now is just when I click it, I won't do it now because it kind of messes my recording up. But when I click it, it basically gets rid of this thing and shows me my background, my desktop background. I've tried it where I've left some other pieces or an image, like a opened image of something I wanted to screen capture, but everything on the screen disappears other than my desktop background. So at this current time, it might be a little buggy because I haven't figured out the way to screen capture something other than the desktop background. But hopefully that will be fixed in the future. And then when it does get fixed, you can have it keep rounded corners, and there's a few other bits of customization here. Okay, everyone, so that's my review of the FiFine D6. I want to thank FiFine again for sending this out. Hopefully you all found this entertaining. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments field. I'll do my best to answer those. And thanks everyone for watching.